Hi guys, Action 007 Cinema here. Warning, spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to recap a Norwegian horror film released in 2009 called Dead Snow. A group of young medical students who go on a vacation trip to snowy mountains are forced to face an unknown horror from the past, as their supposed ordinary Easter vacation turned out to be their fight for survival. Could they survive the horror that looms over these mountains? Let's find out together. The movie begins with a young woman who tries to escape a group of zombies in a Norwegian snowy forest. As she runs in panic, she carelessly heads straight to a cliff and falls, breaking her leg and crashing into a tree. After that, she tries to crawl away from her pursuer, but it is too late as she is soon eaten by two zombies. The next day, Vegard, Erland, Martin, Roy, Hannah, Liv, and Chris are driving down a snow-covered road in two separate cars. This group of students is going on a trip to their friend's cabin. In the middle of their chatter, Martin asks about Sarah, Vegard's girlfriend who owns the cabin. Then, Vegard answers that he does not know his girlfriend's whereabouts but is sure that she'll catch up to them tonight or tomorrow. Unbeknownst to them, Sarah is the girl who was being chased by the zombies last night. When they arrive at their destination, the group decides to spend the day having fun outside Sarah's cabin. At night, the group continues to have a good time inside the cabin. When Erland takes out a can of drinks from the storage, a faint mysterious golden glow shines just a reach away from him without him noticing it. Meanwhile, Liv is sitting in the outhouse when she hears a sound from the woods. She then tries to find the source of the sound, and suddenly, she sees a shadowy figure moving amidst the woods, prompting her to go back to the cabin to warn the others. At first, her friends do not believe her, but she insists that she saw something. Then, Roy decides to go outside, ensuring there is nothing out there. Unexpectedly, a shadowy figure emerges behind Roy. When the figure reveals himself, it is an old man dressed in winter attire. The man then casually asks for a cup of coffee. Over the conversation, the old man asks the group why they come to these mountains. Vegard explains that they are having Easter vacation here. He also says that Sarah is still out there hiking through the mountains. After hearing that, the old man expresses his concern by saying that there is something dangerous in these mountains. The old man then tells a story about a battalion of German soldiers who used to abuse the local population when they were stationed in this region. When they realized that they were about to lose the Second World War, they stole all the valuable trinkets from the locals. However, the battalion was pushed back by the locals to the mountains and had vanished ever since. The old man ends his story with a warning to not wake the evil in these mountains, then leave. On the other side of the mountains, the old man set up a tent to spend the night. Then he hears a weird sound and sees a figure of a man dressed in a World War II uniform. Before he can act, he gets attacked until he breathes his last. The next day, Vegard decides to look for Sarah. When he is wandering around the mountains, he notices something odd and finds the old man's corpse. Shocked by his finding, Vegard also notices that there are bloody footprints on the snow which he follows. Unfortunately, he suddenly falls into an underground cave. Back at the cabin, Erland finds a small wooden box inside the storage on the floor. Then, the group decides to open that small wooden box that turns out to be full of golden trinkets and jewels from 1942. While the others are looking for Chris, they find a buried bag instead. The group brings the bag inside and finds out that it actually belongs to the missing Sarah. Just as they are confused by the situation, Hannah sees Chris's decapitated head outside the window, then screams in fear. Liv then goes to the window to check what has made Hannah scream. Then suddenly a zombie breaks the window and reaches for Liv's hair. The others try to help Liv escape the zombie grasp, and after that, they barricade the cabin door and window. Panic ensues as the zombies outside try to break into the cabin. One of the zombies tries to reach for the door lock, but Hannah manages to cut its hand before it succeeds. She then grabs the hand and tells her friends that it has a ring bearing a symbol of the World War German Party. The terrified Erland told his friends that they should avoid getting bitten by the undead German soldier. In a panic, Erland retreats to a wall by a window and then gets his head grabbed by the zombies. He screams for help as his friends try to pull him back inside. But then the zombies split his head in half, ending Erland in an instant. After the night passes, the rest of the survivors at the cabin decide to get help. Martin and Roy will hold out in the cabin and try to distract the zombies while Liv and Hannah go back to their car. At the underground cave, Vegard wakes up and finds himself inside a cave. He then lights a torch and starts exploring. As he investigates, he finds a flag of the National Socialist German Worker Party from the World War II era. To his horror, he also sees the severed head of Sarah among the German equipment. Then, a zombie appears behind him and tosses him out of the cave. Vegard fights the attacking zombie and manages to subdue it. Another zombie emerges from the snow as he tries to catch his breath. On another part of the mountain, Liv and Hannah have lost their way. Hannah suggests that they should split up, but Liv insists on going together. However, a zombie suddenly appears behind them. Terrified, the girls run in different directions trying to avoid the zombies. Meanwhile, Vegard desperately fights a zombie on the edge of a cliff. As he falls to the ground, he finds a bayonet near him and uses it to defeat the zombie. However, the first zombie he subdued before comes back and attacks him from behind. Both of them are thrown off a cliff, but Vegard grabs onto the zombie's intestine that he has impaled before. The other zombie grabs Vegard's body and bites his neck. In pain, he bashes the zombie with his skull and successfully throws the zombie off him. Back in the woods, Hannah hides behind a tree and manages to defeat the zombie chasing her. However, a zombie manages to knock Liv out with a punch. When she wakes up, she sees two zombies eating her. She then grabs a grenade from the belt of the zombie soldier, which then explodes. Meanwhile, Hannah climbs a tree to hide from her pursuer. At the top of the tree, Hannah observes an army of zombies led by the zombified Colonel Herzog. Suddenly, a raven attacks Hannah, which alerts the zombie of her location. Hannah escapes from the tree by jumping onto one of the zombies. Later on, she ends up at an edge of a cliff cornered by a zombie. She decides to stomp the snow at her feet, making her and the zombies fall. Just then, Vegard arrives and helps Martin and Roy to defeat the zombies with his snowmobile and a machine gun attached to it. However, several zombies manage to grab Vegard and tear him apart. In rage, Martin and Roy attack the zombies that killed Vegard. However, while Martin is smashing a zombie's head, a hand reaches out to him. In reflex, Martin swings his axe to the person behind him. Turns out, it is Hannah, whose neck is already bleeding as Martin's axe is stuck on her. Martin falls into desperation and regrets because he accidentally ends his girlfriend's life. Meanwhile, the zombified Colonel Herzog appears with more troops. Martin and Roy try to stave off the zombies, but Martin gets bitten on his hand. He amputates his hand with a chainsaw to stop the infection, only to get bitten once more in his crotch. After that, Roy and Martin think of killing Colonel Herzog. However, Herzog then summons more zombies from the snow, forcing Roy and Martin to run for their lives. As they try to escape, Roy's head gets hit by a zombie. In pain, Roy accidentally runs straight into a tree trunk that rips out his body and kills him. Those zombies stop when the colonel pulls a jewel out of Roy's pocket. Realizing the zombies are after the treasure they found, Martin returns to the burned-down cabin and digs the treasure box out of the ashes. The zombies chasing him halt their advance as Martin shows the box to them. Then, one of the zombies brings the wooden box to their colonel while Martin escapes from them. In the end, Martin reaches a car to escape. A gold coin falls out of his pocket as he tries to take out the car keys. He observes the coin and realizes it is a coin from the treasure box. Suddenly, the zombified Colonel Herzog appears beside the car window, ending the movie. Greed and ignorance are curses. This group of students was consumed by their greed as they tried to steal something that is not theirs, and their ignorance made them recklessly ignore the old man's warning. In the end, they have to pay for the price of these curses with their life. What would you do if you and your friends were being hunted by those zombified soldiers? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching, and as always, see you next time.